Hey friends, and welcome to the Moms About Sanity podcast. I'm Brittany, accountability coach for women who know they're made for more. This is a space where ambition meets real life, where we talk fitness, family, personal growth, leadership, and all the what the hell is happening right now moments in between. Around here, we don't chase perfection. We build momentum. We push comfort zones, ask better questions, and take real action on the goals that matter most. Each week, you'll hear honest conversations, powerful guests, and grounded reminders that you don't have to choose between showing up for your life and going after your potential. So whether you're walking, sweating, driving, or hiding in your car for 5 quiet minutes, you're in the right place. This is your permission to stop playing small in your own life. Let's get into it. Quick pause, and I want to speak directly to you for a second. If you've been listening to this podcast thinking, this hits, but I need support actually applying it, that's exactly why I built the Momentum Collective. It's a coaching space for women who don't want more information. They want clarity, accountability, and real forward movement. Inside, we focus on building momentum in your health, your mindset, your goals, and your life without burning yourself out. If you're ready to stop circling the same goals and start taking consistent action, the Momentum Collective might be exactly what you've been looking for. You can find all the details in the show notes. Okay, back to the episode. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Moms About Sanity podcast. It is Tuesday while you're listening to this, and I am back from spring break. And I like to say this spring break, like what break? I was on 7 different airplanes. I drove from Lethbridge to Vancouver with our son to bring him home. There was not a whole lot of break, but it was exactly what I wanted. And it was so intentionally filled to the brim from like start to finish. I leveled up my high performance coaching and did a whole recertification program, and then hopped on a plane and I went to the Rise Elevate Rachel Hollis conference. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about something that honestly shifted me last week, and I didn't even fully realize how much until I got home from the conference. It's the fact that I went alone. And I want to start there because I think that that's actually the most important part of this entire conversation. I didn't have a friend. I didn't have a built-in circle. I didn't have the quote safe person to sit beside me. And if I'm being honest, there was a part of me that was like, why are you doing this? But also there was a louder part of me that knew this is exactly why you need to go. Because here's the thing, we say we want growth. We say we want next level. We say we want expansion, but most people want that inside of the comfort of what they already know. And that's not how it works. Growth asks you to walk into rooms where you don't know anyone. Growth asks you to start conversations first. Growth asks you to sit in a seat and not reach for your phone as the safety net. And that's what this was for me. So for context, Rise Elevate is a personal development conference for women who are building something, like whether it's business, life, identity, all of it. And it's led by Rachel Hollis. And the entire energy of the room is very much, you take ownership of your life. You get clear. You stop waiting. And what I loved about it, it wasn't surface level. And for context of this is I have followed Rachel for years, probably like 2017, 2018, when she used to do like full stadium sellout tours of this kind of thing. And I would probably credit part of why I finally decided to do the thing and rip the Band-Aid off and go into coaching was because of doing her programming. And 2020 hit, she stopped the in-persons, but she still did virtual. And I remember sitting through COVID on my own when we were in Palm Springs doing one of her full virtual retreats. And then when I was back home, she had another one, and I had a group of women over, and we all loved to sit and do the thing there as well. And I knew that the minute that this came out, that it was a full body yes for me, because it wasn't 7,000 people in the audience. It was 91 people in this small, intimate venue, all sitting around a bunch of round tables, like wedding stylish, and really getting ready to be honest with ourselves. It wasn't small talk. It was women who are building, who are thinking, evolving, and ready for more. And you feel that the second that you walk in. This is the biggest takeaway I want you to hear, because I think this is what stops so many women probably from saying yes to things like this. We want to know what we'll get out of it. Who will I meet there? Will it be worth it? And the truth is, you don't know. But if you go in with the intention to take one thing away, you always will. Always. And I mean that. I even say that to the women that come to my retreats, because they don't know people that are going to be there. They don't necessarily know the itinerary, but when you go in with those intentions of taking one thing away, there will never be disappointment. So let me break this down in a real way, because this is what I experienced. Number one, maybe you meet that one person and you don't know who it's going to be. It might be the person you kind of expect to meet. It might not be. It might be the loudest person in the room. It might be the girl sitting beside you that you almost didn't talk to. But one conversation can shift everything. A new perspective, a new collaboration, friendship, a mirror, and suddenly your world feels bigger. Number two, you might just meet yourself. And this is the one I was explaining to someone recently, and it hit a little bit harder than I expected, because when you're alone in a room like that, you can't hide behind your normal roles. You're not mom in that moment. You're not the one who always knows everything. You're not moving through your usual identity. You're literally just you. And you start to notice how you show up, where you hesitate, where you hold back, where you actually want more. And that awareness, that's where everything starts. And third, you get clarity, even if you didn't go looking for it. And literally, this is the part people don't talk about enough. You might walk in thinking you're going to learn something specific, but what you actually get is a shift in how you think. You start seeing your business differently. You start questioning your structure. You start realizing what's actually aligned and what's not. And it's not always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's just a thought that doesn't leave you, but it's enough to move you forward. There's something I say all the time, and this just reinforced it. You become who you surround yourself with. And when you step into a room where ambition is normal, where growth is expected, depth is the baseline. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to shrink. You don't have to justify wanting more. And that alone is powerful, because a lot of women don't have that in their everyday life. Here's the honest truth. Most women aren't stuck because they're not capable. They're stuck because they're in the same environments, having the same conversations, thinking the same thoughts over and over again. And you can't create a new level from the same space. You just can't. At some point, you have to put yourself in a different room. So coming out of this, it wasn't one massive life-altering moment. It was a series of small shifts, conversations that made me truly think differently, moments where I saw myself more clearly, ideas that are now sitting with me and I'm taking action on. And honestly, that's how real growth works. Not one big breakthrough, but a collection of moments that move you forward. So if you're listening to this right now and you've been thinking maybe about going to something, investing in yourself, saying yes to a room that scares you just a little, this is your sign. You don't need to know exactly what you're getting into. You need to trust that you will get something out of it. And that something might be exactly what you needed. Okay, that's what I got for you today. I'm still unpacking this. I probably will be for a while, but I know this for sure. The version of you that wants more, she doesn't stay in the same rooms. She puts herself in a new one. She figures it out as she goes. If this hits, please share it, send it to a friend, or just take one thing away from it and actually move on it, because that's the difference if you've been listening to this whole podcast, not just listening. Moving. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If today's conversation resonated, then ask yourself what one small action you can take from it. Because momentum isn't built in big dramatic moments. It's built in a quiet follow through, the honest choices, and the decision you make when no one's watching. If you loved this episode, the best way to support the show is to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you don't have to choose between showing up for your life and going after your potential. This is your permission to stop playing small I'll see you next time.